I'm going to be completely honest with this one, guys. Screamtail is a Pokemon that the more and more I look at it, the more and more confused I get on trying to make it work. But I did some looking, I did some research. I think I might have came up with a couple of different fun ideas for it. So welcome back, YouTube. Espresso Shucko here. And today we are talking about Scarlet's prehistoric Jigglypuff Screamtail. So Screamtail is a psychic fairy type, which means not much going for it in terms of defensive typing. We have 3 weaknesses, we have 1 immunity, we have 1 4 times resistance, and we have 1 regular resistance. So we're immune to dragon, we 4 times resist fighting, we resist psychic, then we're weak to ghost, poison, and steel. So not really much going on. A lot of things hit us neutrally, but that's okay. Screamtail, interestingly enough, has base 115 HP, 99 defense, and 115 special defense. This thing kind of reminds me of Lugia in a little bit, although it's not a legendary Pokemon. It does have that really interesting defensive stat breakdown. Its offenses are both equally terrible because they're each 65, but that's alright. We have a base 111 speed stat as well, so interestingly enough, this thing is as fast as Tornadus. Let that sink in. This puffball with a tail is just as fast as the incarnate of wind Tornadus. So yeah. Anyways, it's a thing. So let's talk about Screamtail and actually get into some moves. We have a defensive kind of breakdown with our stats, so what I was thinking was we'll play it up and try to use it as a support mon. So what I was thinking here is we have Noble Roar. This thing can basically lower the opponent's, or rather the target's attack and special attack by 1 stat each. And the reason why I'm changing that from saying that the opponent to the target is contrary is a thing. We might be able to use a contrary mon, or we can just use it as generic support to increase our own longevity of the team and try to lower the opponent's stats. Basically, Noble Roar is parting shot without the switch factor. So let's just take a quick look to see if there's any contrary mons aside from Lurantis. There's an Amorous, but an Amorous is not released. So really, maybe we want to try to make this work. We can try it out with Lurantis, maybe go for Noble Roar, get a +1 into each of our attacks with Contrary. You could do something like that, maybe, but we're probably going to go more with a supportive route and just use this on the opponent. We have Thunder Wave as well to slow things down. Coming off of base 111 speed, that's pretty good. We can Thunder Wave Prankster mons, so long as they don't taunt us. But what we can do to get around that is we can either have a Mental Herb as our item, or we can go with Psychic Terrain. On this particular one, what I was thinking was we could go Booster Energy to get a 50% boost into speed and activate Photosynthesis that way. But we probably should use the Booster Energy on something else. Screamtail is the only Paradox mon on the team. Then there you go. Could do something like that. As far as the stat breakdown goes for this one, what I was thinking was put a lot of HP investment in there, get it up to 219, and then just balance the defenses and go for speed. But you could also break it down and change things with the HP investment, maybe only go up to 199, just so that we can optimize that, and then put the remaining stats into either of the defenses. Oh, I ended up putting them all into special defense, but anyways, maybe we could do something like this. Try to get as close to 150, and have the breakdown that way. And then we just put the remaining 4 into one of our attack stats. We could do something like that. I have Psychic Fangs on here too, and I just realized I've used a Bold Nature, so we're just going to change that right quick too. So we'll switch that to an Impish. We'll put 4 points into our attack and do something like that. Voila. And the reason too why I have Psychic Fangs on here is Light Screen and Reflect and Aurora Veil, though that one's probably not going to be as frequent. They can make things a little bit difficult for your team, so you could go for the Psychic Fangs as a means of removing them. It is a stab option too, so a Screamtail will get a little bit of a benefit out of that. So you could go for the Psychic Fangs. Then what I was thinking too for the last move slot, and this one is optional, we could go Disable. So maybe we could go Disable here and just prevent our opponent from using something. Maybe we're against a Garganackle, we don't have a taunt option right on the field. Maybe they go for the, Iron Defense, maybe we go Disable right away. Maybe they went for Salt Cure, we go for Disable. Now they can't use it again. Or maybe we could just do something like that. Screamtail does get Encore as well, so on the opposite end of Disable, we could lock things into repeating the same move for the next 3 turns. We could do something like that. Other than that, what I was thinking is maybe Protect for this kind of a set. And then that way you can play some mind games with your opponent on whether or not you want to preserve Screamtail. Now, because most of this is status-based, that does make Screamtail taunt bait. So you could remove the booster energy and go for a Mental Herb and do something like that. Mental Herb might be one of the better options for moves, or not moves, sorry, items. Okay, so let's move on to set number 2 for Screamtail, which I put on as Screen's Tail, because this thing gets both Light Screen and Reflect. These are both great moves. They affect your entire side of the field, and they have either special attack or physical attack depending on which of the 2 moves you're using. So this is kind of nice because you get 5 turns out of that. You could throw a Light Clay on there to get 8 turns out of that. Screamtail gets Wish, so what you could probably do here is you could set up Wish turn 1, switch Screamtail out turn 2, something else gets its HP back from Wish. That could be really, really nice. Like maybe you have like a really strong Pokemon in the back that's been doing quite a bit of work on your team so far. It got worn down. Screamtail goes for Wish. You bring that Pokemon back in. It now gets HP back. Awesome. You could do something like that. Similarly enough, I was thinking still keep the Psychic Fangs as your one damaging option, and then that way you're not taunt bait. As far as the IVs and EVs go, or rather just the EV investment, because we're not changing the IVs, we still might want to do like quite a bit of speed investment in here. Take advantage of that 111 speed, throw a Jolly Nature on there, and then that way we're not lowering our attack, so that even though Psychic Fangs is going to hit like a wet noodle, at least it's still hitting and not doing as much. At least it's not like a wet cardboard straw. I did not need that mental image in my head, and you guys didn't either, so I'm sorry. But although Psychic Fangs is not going to do that much damage, at least it's going to take a little bit more damage out of the opponent as opposed to, like, say, a Timid Nature. What I was thinking here, too, is we could just increase our HP and our defenses as well. Maybe do something like what I have on the screen here. Have, like, say, 130 into defense, 141 into special defense. We could also build Screamtail a specific way. Like, maybe we only want investment on one of the 2 defenses. Like, maybe we're okay with the 115 special defense. We just take all that investment out, put more of it into the physical defense, take that 4 out, and maybe do something like that. I don't think there's any download ability users, so I don't think we have to worry about necessarily balancing out our stats, but we'll double check right quick, because you never know if there's DLC later and Porygon comes back. Yeah, so download only gets distributed to Porygon and Genesect, so we shouldn't have to worry about that until, like, maybe DLC gets announced. But yeah, anyways, we could do something like that. We could go more defense investment versus special defense investment, or vice versa. Maybe we even just want to do something like max HP, max speed, and then put like some remaining points into either the defenses, like those remaining 4. Maybe we'll want to just go up to 120. Could do something like that. Now, another idea that I was thinking for Screamtail, and this one definitely relies on having Gothitelle, and this is by far different from my main playstyle. Perish Song. We could go Perish Song. Screamtail does get Trick Room as well, so food for thought as well. You could maybe use Screamtail as a means of setting up Trick Room as a little bit of a less obvious play, like maybe go Trick Room with Screamtail despite it being so fast. Also, does it get imprisoned? Oh, it does get imprisoned. Okay, so any of the moves that I've said so far, just keep in mind, if you have those moves and you're trying to play against a specific matchup, like say an Encore Mon or a Trick Room Mon, you can go in prison and lock them out of using those moves. You could do that too. I didn't even know this thing got in prison, but hey, that's just kind of like a notable option. Back to what I was saying about Perish Song though. So, what I was thinking here is we go Perish Song with Screamtail, we put something next to it with Shadow Tag, so Gothitelle, because I think Gothitelle and its... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gothitelle and its evolutionary line are the only things that have Shadow Tag at the moment, but we'll just double check that right quick too. Yeah, so basically, Gothitelle and its 2 pre-evolutions, they're the only things available in Scarlet and Violet that have access to Shadow Tag. So what I was thinking was we go Screamtail, Gothitelle. Gothitelle maybe goes for Fake Out or Thunder Wave, slows something down. Screamtail goes for Perish Song. We get Screamtail out of there. We bring something else in. Maybe we set up some screens. Maybe we even just use Screamtail to set up screens. Like say we just have like Reflect or Light Screen. Don't even necessarily have to have both of them. We could go for like an attacking option if we wanted to. We could put Protect in one of these slots. We could do something like that. Basically, we just have to keep it alive for 3 turns. Then we just switch Screamtail and Gothitelle out. Your opponent, in theory, goes down. Now, I don't play Perish Song. I'm also very, very bad at dealing with Perish Song teams, but it's just some food for thought that I think could be really cool. You could synergize it too, have Gothitelle with the Thunder Wave if you don't want to run Trick Room, or you could set up Trick Room and then use a combination of Thunder Wave and Protect, because what I was thinking here is you can get the paralysis, and then you can try to go for the odds of your opponent not being able to take you out because they get full parried, or you just guarantee it with a Protect and cycle that way. So finally, let's talk about the last idea that I had for Screamtail, and that is stored power. This can be a little bit more of a meme idea, but we get access to both Calm Mind and Bulk Up. 99 defense and 115 special defense are amazing. You don't necessarily have to run both of them, like maybe you want to run one or the other. This thing also gets Baton Pass, which is really awesome. So what I was thinking here is you could play to either your special attack or physical attack with Calm Mind or Bulk Up, and then you could run Stored Power. Maybe you want to invest more into your physical defense side and only run Calm Mind, because Calm Mind would benefit Stored Power more. But what I was thinking here too is if you want to go for Baton Pass into something, there's a lot of Pokemon that would benefit from either Calm Mind or Bulk Up being passed off, because Calm Mind and Bulk Up, they're a +1 to the physical stats or the special stats depending on which move you're using. Maybe you wanted to use something like, say, maybe you wanted to go Bulk Up. Maybe you're playing a Scarlet Paradox team, and maybe you're going to pass a Bulk Up off into Great Tusk to help set it up a little bit early. Like maybe you're running an Assault Vest Great Tusk with Body Press, or an Assault Vest Great Tusk that just has like really good offensive moves. I mean, it's Great Tusk. It has a lot of good moves. Maybe you're doing something like that, or maybe you have Roaring Moon on your team. Roaring Moon doesn't really have the greatest physical defense, but receiving a free Bulk Up, that would be awesome. Maybe even getting 2 Bulk Ups, and then that way you're now at +2 on your defense. And now that 71 isn't so bad. Like maybe it's something like that. And then of course too, you have the Sword Power. So maybe maybe you're doing that. Or maybe you want to Baton Pass that into a Pokemon that has like the Unaware ability, and now they're getting free bulk, plus now the opponent, even if they boost, it's not going to matter because Unaware just doesn't care. Maybe you're Baton Passing into a Dondozo. Maybe you're running a Dondozo Tatsugiri team. Maybe you have Dondozo in the back. Maybe for some reason you didn't bring Tatsugiri, or maybe Tatsugiri isn't on the field yet. Maybe you want to pass something into Dondozo, and maybe you have, like, say, another pivoting move. Like maybe you have a U-turn user. you baton pass something into Dondozo. Dondozo gets like the boost, and then whatever's next to Dondozo goes for like say U-turn or Volt Switch, and Tatsugiri comes in. Now you're getting +2. Maybe you're doing something like that. That's just kind of theory crafting on this idea. Don't know how well it would work, but you could try it by all means. Hey, maybe you could even make Clodsire work. Maybe Clodsire just appreciates that bulk up, like 75 special or physical attack and 60 defense. Maybe that works. I don't know. That's just some ideas. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on Screamtail. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my rambling. I will see you next time. Also, if you've played Screamtail, be sure to let me know in the comments below if you've played against it or if you've played with it on your team, just either doing practice battles or in the preseason, like before Season 1 came out, anything like that. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, see you later.